Good afternoon everyone, and welcome to another video. In this one I've got some quick tyre chat following my last video, and I'm going to be introducing my new car. Firstly, the tyre chat. Now, thanks to everyone that left comments on my last video. It's all good food for thought. It seems I'm not the only one that does like a bit of tyre talk. My current thoughts on what to replace these Kumho PS91s with, I've narrowed it down to 3, and that's Goodyear's Eagle F1 Supersport, as I said in the last one, but also I have to consider Michelin's PS4, which I ran before and I got some good mileage out of, and Michelin's Pilot Supersport that I had on my Focus RS, and I managed to get 16,000 miles out of those, including a full hard track day that was hard enough to destroy the brakes on that car. So all 3 of those tyres, 2 proven in my hands, 1 seems to be worth a shot. I'm not quite sure yet. I'll make a decision a bit nearer the time, I think. What I do know is, and what I can say for certain, is that it's not going to be the Kumho PS91s again. It was worth giving them a go. You know, they were quite cheap. They certainly perform well enough around Goodwood in Reg's car, but my driving style, the weight of this car maybe, or all the torque through the rear axle just means they can't really handle it, and they wear out too quickly. Whatever I go for, I'll be getting fitted at the end of February. Plan is to have them fitted 1 week before the auto solo. Give me a chance to get them scrubbed in before I go there on the day, and give me, hopefully, a fighting chance. And in an effort to make these last until then, I've been running mostly with traction control fully engaged for the last week. So hooligan level lately, 2 or 3 out of 10 at most. Not 7 out of 10. Or more as usual, unfortunately, but yeah, c'est la vie. Right, on to my new car then. What is it? Well, as I said before in a previous video, it's nothing exotic. It's front wheel drive, it's agile, it's light, and I mean really light, and it's got a fantastic 3-cylinder soundtrack. Yep, welcome to my Peugeot 107. Why on earth have I got one of these? Well, I bought it primarily as a cheap first car for my daughter to learn to drive in. I've had it just over a month now, and I find myself grabbing the keys to take it out for a drive more and more. Initial thoughts on the driving experience so far are, well, the driving position firstly. There's no reach to the steering wheel. There's some rake, but not much, about 1 inch. And the seat is perched really high. So ideal for my daughter, not so much for me. The gear shift, this thing is woeful. And that's saying something coming from someone who daily drives a manual BMW M140i. It's all right, it'll do, but it's not the most precise thing. The pedals feel okay. The clutch bite's really high. That took some getting used to. And the spacing, not ideally suited for heel and toe, but I can just about manage it. But it takes a bit of right ankle contortion. The lack of weight is immediately noticeable. It only weighs something like 800 kilos. I mean, if anyone wants to correct me, then do so. But as far as I'm aware, 800 or 805 kilos. This one has no aircon, so it's not carrying the weight of that. It's immediately noticeable. But the steering rack is so slow. I don't know how many turns lock to lock is. But it's way more than it is on my BMW and my Focus RS, which both had 2 turns. This feels like it's more like 3, maybe even 3.5 or 4. It has skinny tyres, not much grip, but the chassis feels actually quite good. It does tighten its line mid-corner if you give it a lift. I've not managed to get the back to swing around yet, but yeah, it's got promise. I can see why there's a racing series for these. It's got a revvy little 1 litre 3-cylinder normally aspirated engine, 68 horsepower, I think 69 pounds-feet of torque. So not much power, about the same as one cylinder from my M140i, but do you know what? With 800 kilos to propel along, it's all right. It goes okay. And the one thing it has that I really love is that wonderful, normally aspirated throttle response. I've missed that. I've really missed that since I got into turbocharged cars with my Fiesta ST in 2013. You feel, there you go. There's not much go when you press it, but it responds immediately, and your right foot really feels connected to the drivetrain rather than just giving inputs or making demands of it. The gearing is really long. I mean, it does 65 miles an hour in second gear, which is only just a few miles an hour shy of what my 360 horsepower M140i does. That's insane. What it does mean though is that if you get an opportunity to make progress along country roads like these, second and third is all you need, and most of the time actually just second. Did I say it sounded good? Oh, what a noise. So what does all of this add up to? Well, for me, it's a car that is just an absolute joy to drive. You really have to focus on driving. You don't have any power to get you out of trouble or to build up speed if you make a mistake. You have to concentrate on what you're doing, plan ahead, and if you want to make progress, you have to be smooth, read the road, and just really stay focused. And if you do that, it amply rewards. I love that NA limiter, and no matter what I try, no matter how hard I drive it, I can't get the MPG below 50. That's brilliant. What's not to love about this thing? I have been well and truly bitten. So if you have one of these, a Peugeot 107, Citroen C1 or Toyota Aygo, be happy, be very happy. You've got a fantastic little car. Now the plan with this car is, as I said, it's for my eldest daughter to learn to drive in. Once she's disappeared off to university or wherever she ends up going, it's going to become my daily driver. I'm really, really looking forward to that. And if I can keep it going and keep it healthy enough, then when daughter number 2 is old enough to learn to drive, then she'll learn to drive in it. If when she's done with it, it's still going strong, I don't know, I might stick a turbo on it or something. As for now, I've got the 2 GRRC Auto Solos booked this year, one in March, one in October. I'm taking the M140i to the one in March, but I am seriously considering taking this. I think it would be a right laugh, if nothing else. And I actually suspect it might be quicker through the cones, which is really tight and twisty, than my M140. So time will tell on that one. I'm adamant though that at some point this thing's going to see the tarmac at Goodwood. I reckon I could get around a whole lap with maybe braking just twice. Thanks for watching this. If you've made it this far, give it a thumbs up if you like it, share it, subscribe, all the usual blah blah blah. And if you have any comments or questions, if you own one of these, if you think I'm insane and completely wrong for having it, then please feel free to use that along with all the random abuse that follows in the comments below. Thanks again for watching.